Our next fight of the evening in the bantamweight division, we've got Ali AlQaisi versus Tony Kelley.
So both of these guys are coming off of their UFC debuts where they both lost
in August.
Yeah, Ali lost 8-8, and then a week later, Kelley ended up losing to Kai Kamaka, with Ali losing to Erwin Rivera. Funny, looking at Ali's record, he's got 3 submissions by guillotine in this fight. I mean, in his fight record, he's got 3 submissions by guillotine. So he loves that guillotine choke. He's a 2-1 underdog. I see Tony Kelley getting this one done. He's got a couple submission wins on his record as well, a couple guillotine chokes as well. So I'm actually going to go. Actually, I lied about that. He didn't have I was looking at the Ali's stuff on there. He actually has a couple rear naked chokes and a couple shoulder chokes. I'm going to go with Tony Kelley getting a submission. Second round.
For sure. I like this matchup. I think it's a matchup of striker versus grappler. Ali being the grappler, Tony being the striker. I like Tony striking, like you said, versus Kai Kamaka. He was getting worked in that first round, and then he just, picked it back. He just realized he was losing the fight, and he had to, change it up. And I love seeing that in fighters, being able to adapt mid-fight and change the course of the fight, the way it's going. But the thing that I didn't like about Tony Kelley is that he will go for guillotines and accept getting taken down. I'm not a big fan of that, especially if you're not a great grappler in getting back to your feet, because, he definitely wants to fight standing. But Ali AlQaisi, he definitely wants to fight on the mat. And like you said, he goes for those guillotines. Those guillotines are actually standing guillotines. I've seen him sink a couple of those in, which was pretty nice, pretty smooth. But yeah, if he's not able to get the fight on the mat, I definitely see Tony Kelley either TKOing him or decisioning him. But it's all going to depend on that takedown. If he's able to get him down, he could control him potentially and grind out a victory, or even potentially submit him. But I'm leaning Tony Kelley for this one. I think he's definitely got the better stand-up. If he's able to stop the takedowns, that's a big if. But if he is able to, I definitely see him TKOing him at some point in the fight. Not sure what round, though.
I like Tony Kelley as well. A lot of it is because he is coming down from 145 to 135. He has been fighting at featherweight, coming down to the bantamweight division. I think that that size advantage, and coming down to a new division, I think that suits him well for his style and his striking. He does like to pull guard and accept takedowns, going for those guillotines. I don't think he's done that against somebody as a level of grappler as Ali, and I would hope that he would be smart enough to not do that against a high enough level grappler like Ali. You usually do that when you don't really respect somebody else's grappling too much. He does not want to put himself in those positions, and I think as long as he doesn't put himself in those positions, he works his way to a nice unanimous decision victory.
I agree. I think we're going to a decision, and I am taking Kelley as well. I'll start by discussing the loser briefly. I think this fight is a lot closer than the odds makers would suggest. AlQaisi is he has a loss in the UFC, but he really is a standing or on the ground. He'll transition into a submission attempt from literally any position, anywhere, wherever he is or his opponent. As soon as he manages to get in and get a good hold of any one of your limbs, or take your back or your neck or anything, he's in there and he's looking for a submission. He's good on his feet as well. So I was surprised to see when the odds that I looked at when it was opening had Kelley at under 210 favorite, which is a lot further than I would have expected for this fight. But I do think that Kelley's going to win. He's got really good, whether he's at range or whether he's in the clinch and kind of doing that Muay Thai style, which he did spend quite a few months in Thailand training and fighting professionally. He's got decent wrestling on the ground as well. So the ground advantage definitely goes to AlQaisi, but I think that there's just going to be more points scored by Kelley, and he's a good enough wrestler that he's not going to let his neck be open up against the fence for a standing guillotine drop down into a crazy anaconda choke. I think he's a better fighter than to let that happen to him. So I think that kind of removes Ali's method of victory.
Nice.
Yeah, the betting wise, I'd say definitely the value is on AlQaisi for sure.
For sure.
He could definitely win this fight. just betting wise. But I'm taking Tony. But yeah.